distance you can see the final pass to Meta, and this is the last uphill. It's a long uphill ride this way and then that way. Climbing to the base camp of Kanguru, just above Meta village. It's straight up from Meta village. So it is quite important to spend an extra day at Meta, which lies at around 3,570 meters above sea level. So before you push on to Phu, spending an extra night here is prudent. The trail becomes a little obscure. There is some trail finding involved, not a lot. And again, it's steep up. Blue sheep grazing with the yaks. After climbing around 700 meters, 2,000 feet, we finally reached the Kanguru base camp. About 10 years ago, there was I think 15 years ago, there was a major tragedy here. Avalanche from that mountain gushed down, killing approximately, I think, 15 climbers. Among them included Mr. Gurung, one of Nepal's top climber and climbing instructor. He was my instructor when I completed my basic and advanced mountaineering courses 25 years ago. This is the trail to Phu. When we return, we'll be taking that bridge and heading to Nar. Small village en route. And now we've arrived at the Nar Phu village municipality office. When I visited here around 15 years ago, there was nothing here besides just shepherd's huts. But I guess this is the center point. These abandoned homes were the Khampa settlement during the revolution in Tibet. Many of the Khampas from Tibet came into Nepal to launch incursions and attacks on Chinese troops in Tibet. Now they've been abandoned and totally empty. So that's the village of Chakhu with the village municipality office. We came up there and down to the river, crossing that bridge, steel bridge, and up, and then we're going to take this trail, and just beyond that is the village of Kyang. Now we're entering the village of Kyang. It's the trail to the village. That looks like the monastery and the school. After walking for almost 2 hours through these narrow valleys, I'm told that Phu village lies just behind that big and here we enter the gate to Phu village. So we're on our way to the Himlung base camp. We've been walking for a little more than an hour. Finally some plain level trail, otherwise it was all uphill. Not very steep, but still uphill. And you can see a herd of blue sheep grazing. So we've been walking from Phu for a little over 4 hours, basically backtracking the trail to Meta. But now, instead of heading up that trail to Meta, we're going to go down, across the bridge and up towards Nar. So we descended down this trail, and this is the trail coming from Meta. Now we're going to cross that bridge. Wait, something, huh? This is the Nar monastery. That's Meta in the distance. Trail for Meta. The upper trail goes towards Phu, through those valleys. After 45 minutes of slogging from the monastery, we finally arrived at the first gate. This is the first gate, but I'm told that this is not the gate into Nar. It's another 2 hours of grueling uphill. So I've arrived at the second section of this uphill. I can see the gate that we passed by around 45 minutes ago. This section is not as steep as the first section, but it's still quite grueling. And then we have another uphill for about 20 minutes. You can see Rajbir and Mandip. Looks like that's the last of the uphill. So after 25 minutes, finally made it to the third landmark, which again is a Chorten. So we've arrived at this modernish gate, not like the traditional gates like before. It says कृपया गेट खोलेपछि बन्द गरिदिनु होला, meaning please close the gate after you open it. So this probably looks like a gate to prevent the animals from going out. So after that big Chorten, the trail has leveled off. So after walking for about 2.5 hours, we finally arrived at Nar. We ascended around 1900 feet from the monastery, and that is definitely one of the most hard sections of any treks in Nepal. The trail going left goes to the Kangla pass that goes to Ngawal and Manang. Walking through Nar, old homes are mixed with the new ones. So from the village, we're heading west towards Kangla Pass. That's Kanguru mountain. Never been climbed. Trail towards Kangla Pass. After walking for about 30 to 45 minutes through the White Valley, we're approaching the Nar base camp. So this is the Kangla base camp. We'll be going that way and left through that scree and through the pass over there to Kangla. So we've been coming up that valley. You can see Kangla base camp and the beautiful mountains there. Kanguru, Manaslu, just right off the clouds, Manaslu. So now we're going to go up that switchback. You can see a small shorten and then climb steadily westwards. You can see a small pole in that way towards Kangla. So we just climbed the switchback. Now we're going to head up another set of switchbacks. Up. So we came up that beautiful valley. We climbed one set of switchback over there. The second set here. And now we're headed this way See the small marker pole. So after that second switchback, the trail leveled out a bit. This is Mandip. The lower clouds are coming up. So we go around this small hill and you can see the trail there, and the Kangla pass is right there. You can see the prayer flags. Around 45 minutes from here maybe to the top. So after walking for a little over 4 hours from Nar village, we've reached Kangla Pass. Oh, the mountains on the other side. (5,320 meters). That looks like Annapurna too. And then the descent to Ngawal. Steep descent on a long switchback through that scree there, and then to the pasture.